Okay, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Fimi X8 Mini, and how to downgrade your firmware, whether it be the camera or the flight controller firmware, from a updated version that you may not like for whatever reason. Fairly straightforward. You do have to know the basics of computer file management. You ask Fimi for the bin file that you want or the file for the firmware you want to change. They send it to you. It's basically copy and paste. So as long as you know how to copy and paste and find a file on a computer, you're away to the races. So let's get into this. Here we go. You see right now, we have the drone. Okay, we have the drone and we have firmware 1015A. And we're going to downgrade to 1014G. Okay, so let's get into this. Should be fun. We're going to downgrade our firmware from 1015A to 1014G. When we had the update for 1015A, initially I didn't discover anything, but after 2 or 3 flights, I noticed some wavering in the flight characteristics and some more jittering in the camera for some reason. And I had a couple of times where it just abnormally landed. So I'm going to go back to 1014G. That's the one. Anyway, to start with, we have everything turned off, and I've plugged micro USB into the back of the drone. It's turned off. And we're going to plug it into my USB hub in a second here. Okay? So we're going to turn on the drone. Light goes on normally. Okay? And we're just going to plug it in to the computer. And watch the screen up here. When we plug it in, you hear the beep from the screen. And in the left corner there, we're going to see 2 folders show up. There they go. I'm just going to get rid of this for you and get rid of this and this. Just 2 folders show up. Follow my mouse. Here it says black box. If I click black box, a folder called black box comes up. If you double click that, these are the most recent flight data files that if you have a problem, you send them to Fimi. It only keeps the most recent, and then it deletes and starts again. So you won't be able to keep all of your data files. I think it keeps about 30, and then it deletes them and starts again. Okay. And also, if you uninstall, from what I found, if you uninstall the application and reinstall a new version, it can delete all your data files. But I haven't really looked into that. But I know that there's only a certain amount of room for these files and then they're deleted. But I'm getting off track. So let's go back to where we were. So here we have, somewhere on my computer, I've downloaded this file, and this big long name, blah, 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 with a BIN at the end, is the file that Fimi sent me saying it was for flight controller 1014G. Okay? So we know where that is. Okay. Under here you see a folder called, or something called, FC underscore upgrade. So what we do is we right click on our file in our computer and we copy that file into this folder on the drone. So we right click again and we paste. And it's 663 kilobytes and it's copied. Okay, so that's all we do. So now all we do is we turn off the drone and we unplug it. Okay, now we're just going to keep this folder up here. And what happens is, according to Fimi, the next step is you turn on your drone. And you see the quick flashing. That means it's updating. Okay, that means it's automatically updating something. Okay, and I'm hoping it's updating the right thing. Now, if you wanted to update solid green, there it is. And it goes back to the regular signal you're used to, which is a very slow flashing amber light. There we go. So now we're going to turn the drone off. We'll turn the drone off. Now, before we go any further, if you wanted to update a camera firmware, or downgrade, I should say, you need an SD card. Okay, you'll get the same kind of a file that's labeled for the camera. The only thing is, you have to create a folder called FW underscore, not FC, FW underscore update. Okay, you put it so it's the only thing in this SD card. So you're going to create a folder, FW underscore update, and in that folder you're going to put the file that Fimi sends you. Then you put this into the drone and start your drone, and the same flashing will happen, and it will put whatever camera firmware is on there into your drone. But let's see if this procedure worked for this. Okay, so we're going to start a controller. We're going to start our drone. And we're going to wait for the green light before we turn on our phone, before we plug our phone into the controller. And it usually takes about 10 seconds or so. And when it turns green, the lights on the controller remain solid. So now we plug in our phone and we're connected. So we go in and we look at our firmware. And there we have it, 1014G. Okay, so we're going to turn everything off. Turn this off. Unplug the phone. So there you have it. Okay, so that's how you downgrade from a firmware for the flight controller to a previous firmware version. Simple steps are: 1. Ask Fimi for the file. Download the file to your computer. Remember where you put the file. Plug in your drone. Power on the drone. Look for the folder that's labeled FC underscore upgrade. Copy the file that Fimi sent you into that folder. Turn off the drone. Unplug it. Turn the drone back on and wait for the rapid flashing green and red lights to finish. And you're updated or downdated, whatever you want to say. Okay. Next is to take it out for a spin to see if it changes anything. And we'll go from there. Okay, well, we've just downgraded to 1014G, and we're going to see what the flight's like. Okay, so let's get into it. You see here, I've got 1014G on here. I'll show you that screenshot somewhere. And let's take it up and see what happens. Okay, we've got satellites. How many do we have? I have to get back in the shade here a little bit. And we've got 14 satellites. So let's put it up in the air. And before we do that, let's have a look. We've got 4K. I don't want 4K. I'll put that on high, but I'm just going to do 1080 at 30 for this one. 1080 at 30. And we changed to 1080 at 30. Everything else is on normal. It's a cloudy, sunny-ish day, so we're okay. Everything else, yeah, average. Okay, great. Let's get it up in the air. And we'll follow it up, see how it goes. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, it's circling a little bit. I should do another compass calibration. Because every time you do an upgrade or a downgrade, you should do a compass calibration. But it's not too bad. So let's start that video. And we're going to go up. And out. Bring the camera down. Up, and we'll go out and look at the pasture like we always do and see what the colors look like. We'll get up there about 50 meters or so. There we go. We'll turn left and we'll look at that pasture. There we go. And we'll just fly out that way. And we'll go to the right a bit. Bring that camera up a touch. There we go. Up at 56 meters. And we're out 300 or 400 meters, so we're just going to bring it home. And see how she lands. Okay. Return to home. Let's see how it comes back across the pasture there, and as long as it doesn't waver anywhere, that horizon's pretty straight. And we'll see if there's any mess ups. It'll only be about a 2 or 3 minute video, so that's not too bad. And when it starts descending, I'll stop the video and I'll just catch it by hand. And that should be it. There, I hear it. It's coming. I see it. It's up in the air. And down it comes. Pretty close. It's a couple meters off, but I don't have precision landing on, so not a biggie. And it comes down. Yeah, I did notice with the 1015G, the return to home descent was really slow. And this is a little bit better. Okay, we're just going to stop the video there. And we're going to stop the return to home. turn it around, and we're going to do a hand catch. Bring it into focus there. There it comes. Up a little bit so I can grab it. I'm just going to go out there and grab it. And when you use these skis, it's pretty simple to grab. No problem. So let's look at that video and see what it's like. So what do you think of that? Yeah, a downgrade, it seemed to work. I noticed several things. I didn't have the jitters on the video. I didn't have the excessive slow speed on descent. I didn't have any false landings. I didn't notice any difference in the characteristics in the way it flew. I thought the video was quite good if you even compare it to the latest edition of a competitive drone that was just released. It's not bad. So that's how you do the downgrade. And now I'm running 1014G. Every time you start your drone, you will notice it will ask for an update. And just look in the description to see if it only states update to gimbal stabilization and black box files. That will be 1015A. And right now I'm staying with 1014G. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, enjoy the outdoors. Bye now.